My thoughts do not mean anything. 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 My thoughts do not mean anything.
Lesson 10 from A Course in Miracles. My thoughts do not mean anything. This idea applies to all the thoughts of which you are aware or become aware in the practice periods. The reason the idea is applicable to all of them is that they are not your real thoughts. We have made this distinction before, and we will do it again. You have no basis for comparison yet. When you do, you will have no doubt that what you once believed were your thoughts did not mean anything. This is the second time we have used this kind of idea. The form is only slightly different. This time, the idea is introduced with my thoughts instead of these thoughts, and no link is made overtly with the things around you. The emphasis is now on the lack of reality of which you think you think. The aspect of the correction process began with the idea that the thoughts of which you are aware are meaningless, outside rather than within, and then stressed their past rather than their present status. Now, we are emphasizing that the presence of these thoughts means that you are not thinking. This is merely another way of repeating our earlier statement that your mind is really a blank. To recognize this is to recognize nothingness when you think you see it. As such, it is the prerequisite for vision. Close your eyes for these exercises and introduce them by repeating the idea for today quite slowly to yourself, and then add, this idea will help to release me from all that I now believe. The exercises consist, as before, in searching your mind for all the thoughts that are available to you, without selection or judgment. Try to avoid classification of any kind. In fact, if you find it helpful to do so, you might imagine that you are watching an oddly assorted procession going by, which has little, if any, personal meaning to you. As each one crosses your mind, say, my thought about blank does not mean anything. My thought about blank does not mean anything. Today's thought can obviously serve for any thought that distresses you at any time. In addition, 5 practice periods are recommended, each involving no more than a minute or so of mind searching. It is not recommended that this time period be extended, and it should be reduced to half a minute or less if you experience discomfort. Remember, however, to repeat the idea slowly before applying it specifically, and also add, this idea will help to release me from all that I now believe.
thoughts do not mean anything. My 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 thoughts do not mean anything.
And now for the reflection on Lesson 10. My thoughts do not mean anything. It's incredible how Jesus takes everything away from us, all of our thoughts, all of the ways that we have looked at the things around us, the people, the objects, only to fill us again with true sight or true vision. But a full glass can't be filled at all. It's only when we empty ourselves, only when we surrender completely and say, I don't know. I don't know what anything is. I don't know what that means. Please show me. Only now can I be filled. Only now can true vision come to me. So though these lessons may seem difficult at first, there is a freedom in them. There is a way of looking at the world anew, like a child. Unless we become like little children, we cannot enter into the kingdom of heaven. And that is exactly what Jesus is leading into. He's leading us into this vision of reality itself. But first, we have to realize that my thoughts don't mean anything. I don't know what anything really means, only to be shown by the Holy Spirit what true knowledge really is.